I'm just about to tell you the example of triple bond. When we have a triple bond and when we do oxymercuration demercuration reaction on a triple bond, what happens? Then it gives a product of this kind. OH adds here because this is the more substituted bond. Carbon and mercuric acetate adds here because this is the less substituted carbon. Then we can use simple acid, strong acid, to remove this mercuric acetate. Okay, so when we add acid, what happens? The mercury salt will be leaving, so we are adding a hydrogen there, and OH is here. See, this is an enol. Enol undergoes tautomerization to give a ketone. Enol undergoes tautomerization to give a ketone. Okay. So that means when we have a triple bond and when we do oxymercuration demercuration on a triple bond, what we will get? We will get a ketone. Okay, I'm changing this. Next oxidizing agent is DDQ. Next oxidizing agent is DDQ. 2,3 dichloro 5,6 dicyano benzoquinone. జిల్లని వాళ్ళని మాట్లాడొద్దని చెప్పు. DDQ 2,3 dichloro 5,6 dicyano benzoquinone. So the reagent is so this is DDQ.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Any doubt? So this is DDQ. This is generally used for dehydrogenation. This is generally used for dehydrogenation. That means removal of two hydrogens from two adjacent atoms so that it generates a double bond between the two atoms. A similar reagent is chloranil. What is chloranil? Chloranil is similar to DDQ, but we will have all chlorine groups. This is called chloranil. This is called chloranil. If there is any problem, please drop a message in the group. I will explain the use of DDQ with one example. If we had two double bonds, and if we can generate a third double bond, it becomes an aromatic system, right? So in that case, we can use DDQ. Of course, as I said earlier, we don't need to do anything. If there are two double bonds, this compound will undergo air oxidation to generate a benzene ring. But this is selected for explaining the mechanism, okay? So it's not that you need compulsory DDQ to oxidize this to benzene, okay? No need. But still, this is a model compound just for explaining the mechanism. So when we use DDQ, it generates one more double bond. It generates this double bond, okay? The DDQ becomes, DDQ undergoes reduction, OH, Cl, Cl, OH, Cn, Cn. Okay. So the compound undergoes oxidation by generating a double bond. DDQ undergoes reduction by reducing the both carbonyls. Both carbonyls. Okay. So I'll give you the mechanism how it works. So I'll just take only the required hydrogens. Okay. Because we are having four hydrogens, I'm not going to represent all the four. I'll take only two. When we have DDQ, the first step is hydride ion transfer. The first step is hydride ion transfer. The proton, I can say proton, the hydrogen with bonding pair, that means H minus. H minus will attack an oxygen. So H minus will shift to oxygen, carbonyl oxygen in DDQ. Because it is getting electrons, the bond pair of electrons, one of the bond pair of electrons will be polarized into the benzene ring, into the ring, so that it generates a benzene structure. Okay. So because we are losing H minus, this carbon will get a positive charge. So in the first step, hydride ion transfer takes place. Hydride ion transfer takes place and we are generating a carbocation. We are generating a carbocation. Then in the second step, what happens? Of course, the reduced DDQ here we are generating O minus and this is OH, right? So this O minus will pick up this proton. This O minus will pick up this proton. Then bonding electrons will be polarized towards the positive charge. Okay, O minus will pick up the proton. Bonding electrons will be polarized towards this carbocation. So we will generate a double bond. We will generate an alkene and this becomes completely reduced. So this is how we can oxidize and generate a double bond by taking two protons or two hydrogens from adjacent atoms. They may be both carbons, or one may be carbon, another may be oxygen. It depends. Okay. So in DDQ oxidation, the first step is hydride transfer, where we are generating a carbocation. Then the DDQ will pick up the proton. So the bonding electrons in carbon, hydrogen, they will be polarized towards a positive charge. So we are generating a carbon-carbon double bond. I'll give some more examples for this. You practice them. This is called AC-naphthene. When we treat this AC-naphthene with DDQ, when we oxidize this, DDQ will take two protons from these two carbons, so a double bond generates here. So the compound name is AC-naphthalene. AC-naphthalene. You write the product, okay? It's a simple thing. Similarly, when we have tetraline, and when we treat this with the DDQ, benzene reflex, then what we get, we will generate two double bonds in this case. So we will get naphthalene. We will get naphthalene. But when we want to oxidize a simple cyclohexane with the DDQ, In this case, oxidation will not take place. Why? In some cases it is oxidation takes place, in some cases it is not possible. I'll tell you one thing. The first step in the DDQ oxidation is hydrate transfer, so that it generates a carbocation. Here this carbocation is allyl carbocation, so it is stable. In this case, if we generate a carbocation here or here, what we will get? We will get benzylic carbocation. Similarly, if we generate a carbocation here, we will get a benzyl carbocation. That means it is stable. Not only that, for if we generate two double bonds here, it will become aromatic. There is already one double bond in the ring, and we need two more double bonds, so that can be done. Okay, if you have something, I will give you some more things so that you gain more. But here there is nothing, right? There is not even a single bond. Then if you want to oxidize it, we need to form three double bonds, then only it becomes stable. Okay, so that means in this case there is no driving force for dehydrogenation. Okay, if you give some simple alkane and if you want to oxidize it with DDQ, it is not possible. Okay, there should be some driving force. That means uh, it has to have some double bonds already in the ring. Then it with oxidation, DDQ oxidation, we can generate some more double bonds. Okay, but without any double bonds, it is not possible to oxidize this cyclohexane. When we treat cycloheptatriene with DDQ, hydride transfer takes place and it generates a carbocation here. So this is aromatic system, right? And the opposite ion here, it is ClO4 minus. H minus transfer takes place from here, so that we generate a carbocation. H minus, H plus will be taken from perchloric acid. So ClO4 minus is the counter ion. So this is how we can trap this aromatic system. Okay, this can be isolated and this can be characterized. Please take a snapshot. I'm going to change this page. I'll give you two more examples on DDQ oxidations. When we have a benzyl alcohol, then we can oxidize this benzyl alcohol to benzaldehyde using DDQ. Okay, so hydrogen from here and hydrogen from this carbon both will be leaving, so we will get double bond. So it's nothing but benzaldehyde. Okay, anisaldehyde in this case, because OME is there, it is para anisaldehyde. When we have a carbonyl of this kind, and when we do oxidize this carbonyl with a double bond, we can generate an alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl. But in this case, alpha beta unsaturation takes place on this side, but not this side. Okay. So we can generate an alpha beta unsaturation. So DDQ oxidations, we can generate aromatic systems if it needs one or two double bonds. We can generate carbonyl compounds if it is some stable alcohol. We can generate alpha beta unsaturation if there is an aldehyde or ketone in the group. We can also have rearranged products. In this case, what happens? There must be a formation of double bond, but this carbon, it is a quaternary carbon. That means it is attached to 4 different carbons. It doesn't have any hydrogen. But still we can do DDQ oxidation on this, and we can generate the double bond required for us to make this system an aromatic. But this can be done by methyl migration. This can be done by methyl migration. Okay, right. How it works? In the DDQ oxidation, what is the first step? First step itself is the hydride transfer leading to a carbocation generation. So we can take out a proton from this carbon, sorry, H minus from this carbon, so we can generate a carbocation. This carbocation, look, it is a benzyl system, it is stable, but it can be rearranged by methyl migration. CH3 with its electron pair, it can migrate here. So in that case, it is a secondary carbon and aromatic carbon. But when we migrate, when we do 1,2 methyl shift, what we are getting is in even more stable carbocation. It is even more stable carbocation. See, this is a tertiary carbocation. At the same time, it is conjugation with this allylic system. When we polarize this double bond, it becomes a benzylic carbocation. Initially, it is just a benzylic carbocation, but here it is a secondary carbon and benzylic carbon, secondary and benzylic. But in this system, You see, it is a tertiary carbocation. It is an allyl carbocation. When we polarize this double bond, it becomes benzyl. That means this carbocation is more stable than this. So in a carbocations, if there is a possibility for the generation of more stable carbocation, then carbocation rearrangements will occur, right? So either we can shift a H minus or we can shift an alkyl minus so that it generates a more stable carbocation. Then we can also pick up a proton H plus from here because this carbon will have two hydrogens. One hydrogen H minus, it is leaving as H minus. Other hydrogen, it is leaving as H plus. I'll also write, no problem. So one more hydrogen will be there. So that we can take out as H plus. The bonding electrons will be polarized towards this carbocation so that it generates a carbon-carbon double bond. So this is how we can have a rearranged products in the case of DDQ. I used to show this type of representation when the group is migrating along with this bonding electrons. Okay, so here the CH3 with the bond pair of electrons, that means bonding electron in this carbon-carbon bond, along with this carbon-carbon bonding electrons, it is migrating. Because it is completely migrating, it is not leaving anything here. Okay, so that is why I use this type of representation. So a circle to represent that the whole group is migrating along with the bonding electrons. Okay, if it is a simple proton, we don't need to represent it. Okay, right. So this is all about DDQ oxidations. Next we will see Fremis salt. What is Fremis salt? Fremis salt is a nitro of disulfonate. This is a nitro group. So we will have a disulfonate on both sides. Counter ion is potassium. Or in simple, we can also write KSO3. KSO3 twice NO. Okay. So it is a radical reagent. It is called potassium nitro disulfonate. Because it is an anion, we say it is sulfonate. Then how do we use Fremy salt for the oxidation? There are different applications of Fremy salt. I'll give you almost 2 examples. Right. When we use Fremy salt for the oxidation of phenol, what we generate is a benzoquinone. What we generate is a benzoquinone. This is the major product, and of course we also have some minor product. It is 1,4 benzoquinone, it is 1,2 benzoquinone. So this is minor. How do we do oxidations with Fremy salt? Okay, as I said earlier, it should be a radical system. When we use Fremy salt, what is that? KSO3 twice NO radical. So this O radical will pick up a hydrogen radical from OH. It will pick up a hydrogen radical from OH. When it picks up a hydrogen radical, what we are having is a phenolic radical. What we are having a phenolic radical. Of course, it is like allylic radical. It is benzylic radical. It is stable. It can undergo tautomerization. It can undergo resonance. When we draw resonance structures, this double bond, it will undergo homolytic cleavage. So this electron and electron from this bond, it will form a double bond. Another electron, it will generate a radical here. These are the previous double bonds. They are there. Oxygen is there. Now we have a double bond here and a radical here. When we look at the dipole moment, this fellow will have a more dipole moment because both are in the same direction. So it will have more dipole moment. When we say more dipole moment, it is unstable, less stable. Okay. So this double bond will also undergo homolytic cleavage. So one electron will be polarizing towards this. Another electron will be polarizing towards this so that it generates a double bond here. So this is an unperturbed double bond. Oxygen is there. This is the double bond generated in the first step. This is the double bond generated in the second step, and this is less stable compared to this. This is more stable. Why? Because here oxygen will polarize the electrons towards oxygen, radical will polarize the electrons towards radical. So that means both the groups are attracting the electrons in opposite directions. So when they are attracting electrons in opposite directions, the generated dipole will be very less. But in this case, you see oxygen and radical both are attracting electrons in a similar direction. That means they can both will combinedly attract electrons so that it will have more dipole moment. So that is why it is less stable, whereas this fellow it is more stable. So this fellow is responsible for the generation of major product. This fellow is responsible for the generation of minor product. Then I'll tell you how it generates a more stable, it oxidizes further. When we add Fremy salt, what is Fremy salt? Oxygen radical, SO3K, SO3. So this radical and oxygen radical, now they will generate a bond between them. They will generate a bond between them so that it will be like this. So like in the case of DMSO oxidation, what happens? The proton will be leaving. The bonding electrons between carbon and hydrogen, now they are polarized towards carbon oxygen so that it generates a carbon oxygen double bond. And nitrogen oxygen bonding electrons are polarized towards nitrogen. So nitrogen gets minus charge, a proton will be leaving. So nitrogen, this N minus will pick up this proton. Okay, so that it generates this proton. First take a snapshot and then write. I think we are running out of time. Please take a snapshot first and then write. I'll just give you one more example on this. You write the product for this.